I come from the University of Exeter in England, where for 40 years I taught economic history, and particularly mining history. And it's a great opportunity for me to engage with people outside of my own profession to see what they can offer to the historian, and equally what perhaps historians can offer to them in terms of how they might present their museums. I've come here specifically to see this wonderful mine that I've heard about for many years. I've travelled to mining places all over the world, but this is my first time here. And I have to say I'm staggered by the enormity of the mine. It lives up to everything that I've ever heard about it. It's very different from the mines that I'm familiar with, coal mines or metal mines. It's more of an enormous underground quarrying operation, but that is something very different for me to see. I'm so impressed by the presentation. So I'm looking forward very much to spending the next few days here listening to the conference, and also particularly looking around in the mine.
And it's a real pleasure to be here at this conference, because bringing people together to share best practice is so important. It's how we learn, it's how we educate ourselves, and I can't underscore enough the importance of this and bringing people together so they could better understand what others are doing. Tourism in World Heritage Sites is a very complex issue, and here at the Wieliczka-Bochnia World Heritage Site we have a very complex system, from having an attraction, which is the World Heritage Site, to the museum, which is a very special place, and how we get visitors to come and spend time is really important, so they have a really deeper experience when they come, not just to see the mine, but to really understand the heritage. For UNESCO, it's very important that those messages are very clear, the interpretation's clear, and to give that story, to give that narrative of why World Heritage, why is this inscribed on the World Heritage List? What's so important about it? What is that outstanding universal value? And when we do that, then we enrich the experience of the visitor, and we accomplish our goals of the conservation of these important places around the world.
It is a great pleasure to observe growing interest in the preservation of underground heritage, which does not constitute the most visible part of the World Heritage 1092 inscribed properties. The efforts to increase visibility and find ways to collectively tackle emerging issues arising from these underground sites is a priority. For UNESCO, the European Year of Cultural Heritage is an opportunity to focus on the role tourism can play in protecting, safeguarding and promoting cultural heritage. In this regard, it is worth pointing out that the Wieliczka and Bochnia royal salt mines have engaged in the World Heritage Journeys of the European Union project, which has been launched a few months ago by UNESCO in collaboration with National Geographic and with the support of the European Union.
It's a great pleasure for me, having just moderated a session, to see the quality of the presentations, both the presentation and the content and the discussion that this is already generating in questions after the session. It seems to me that the success of bringing people together in this somewhat niche discipline of underground mining heritage across the world is a great step in sharing experiences. That's the strapline, I believe, for the conference. I'm looking, let's meet and share our experiences. It clearly is working because we are already seeing affinities between different sites in very different places and with perhaps different geology, different mineral resources that behave differently. We've learned about the technical performances of salt, for example, and how that's very different from a metal mine. And we've seen that these experiences clearly are arousing interest between one and the other, and I'm sure that the idea of continuing this getting together in a conference in different venues, but focusing on conservation, access, tourism, all the different disciplines that we've been hearing about, including the pursuit of World Heritage, which is one of my particular areas of interest. It's clear that getting these people together is sparking that interest, and it is generating those benefits that I'm sure many of the delegates have already experienced today.
I am the current president of ICOM, the International Council of Museums, for the period 2016 to 2019. And I'm very happy to be here today, although I am no expert of mining or underground museums. I am very excited to discover that there is such a big number of them, and it's wonderful that they come together here. They have this international conference because they must be sharing a lot of common challenges and also a lot of practice that they can learn from each other.
Well, I really do appreciate the possibility of being here today. What I like the most that we can find a kind of collaboration between the research centers and also the mines. We can also share our experience, and what I like here the most that we can also compare like the big mines like Solferine, or also examples from North Wales with such a small mines. For example, with the people who came there from Croatia, also from Slovenia, from Idrija. I really like during our conference that the organizer presents the other people our way to spending the free time in the mine. I mean the St. Barbara's Days, which we'll celebrate on 4th of December. For me, as a young researcher, it's a big honor to be here today with representatives of UNESCO, of other research centers, also the big mines as a Zabrze mine, or even the smaller ones such as Rude from Croatia.
The whole conference has been taking place inside the mine itself, which is very unique and very interesting. We had some wonderful tours of the mining complex and what they've done here, and it truly is impressive, especially from a country that is very new and young compared to the history here. This has been a very eye-opening and very interesting venue and a very interesting experience to be here. The conference itself I found very, very fascinating. A lot of interesting material. Having a venue with a number of different countries is really interesting, very informative. Everybody's different perception on mining, heritage, how to approach that, how different cultures approach that, how different governments deal with that or allow access to mine sites, or what the legalities are of that. With the conference, one thing I've really appreciated is a wide range of different ideas and approaches to how you interpret a site, different interpretive styles, different interpretive methods, and I'm quite anxious to take these back to some of our projects at home, some of our venues that I've had some ideas for, but changing those ideas a little bit after this conference, taking some new information here and applying that in ways that I don't think has been done, at least in our part of the United States before. Different interpretive standards, different interpretive methods. And that's a different guest experience than much of what we offer currently.
What's good about a conference is that it's a good mix between content and experience. So you have, on the one hand, you have a very good full program with a lot of lectures from persons from a lot of different countries. So you have a lot of variety of research objects which is covered, but you also have a lot of volunteer initiatives which are explained by local people. So it's the mix between both, so the research and the volunteer and the different countries, which makes it really interesting for us. It is also very nice that there was some kind of side program that we could also visit both mines, and tomorrow we're going to visit the castle. So that's really positive, because then you link content to experience.
Потрясающая конференция. Я безумно рад, что я здесь оказался. Я сказал об этом во время своего выступления с докладом. Должен сказать, уровень конференции очень высокий. С моей точки зрения, никаких замечаний и недочетов нет. И мне бы, конечно, хотелось пожелать организаторам этой конференции, чтобы не в последний раз.
Uważam, że konferencja się bardzo udała, jestem naprawdę z niej bardzo zadowolony. Udało nam się zgromadzić naprawdę bardzo ciekawych dyskutantów, bo zarówno środowisko akademickie, nasz komitet naukowy reprezentuje najwyższy poziom, bardzo interesujących referentów z różnych ośrodków górniczych, czyli zebraliśmy zarówno akademików, jak i praktyków. A często się tak dzieje, że te dwa środowiska są każde sobie. A tutaj ta nić współpracy i nić dyskusji została nawiązana i była bardzo żywa. I temu właśnie ta konferencja miała służyć, takiej integracji całej rodziny górniczej. I mam nadzieję, że będzie to początkiem dla dalszych tego typu spotkań, które powinny zaowocować między innymi wypracowaniem kodeksu dobrych praktyk dla muzeów podziemnych, które zdecydowanie różnią się od tych muzeów, z którymi mamy normalnie do czynienia na powierzchni. Głównie o muzeach myślimy jako o muzeach sztuki, a to dziedzictwo industrialne jednak jest czymś innym, a w ramach tego dziedzictwo górnicze, podziemne obiekty muzealne i podziemne obiekty turystyczne rządzą się zupełnie innymi prawami i tak samo w stosunku do nich są zupełnie inne wymogi. Także myślę, że ta konferencja naprawdę zaowocuje czymś dobrym na kolejne lata. Tak jak wspomniałem, kodeks dobrych praktyk, a być może także uda nam się wykreować taką grupę środowiskową, która będzie w stanie tak samo reprezentować swoje interesy, swój punkt widzenia w dużej rodzinie muzealnej, czy też może nie z sensu stricte samego muzealnego, bo nie wszystkie obiekty są obiektami muzealnymi. Część są to zabytki, niektóre są zabytkami, niektóre są po prostu normalnymi trasami turystycznymi, które działają, a wszystkim nam chodzi o przekazanie autentycznej relacji o życiu i pracy górników w przeszłości.